Hey, welcome to the Morning Shift with Ann. What's up? I hope you're having a good morning. Today's subject is resentment and forgiveness. Later on in the video, I'm going to share with you some practical techniques on how to deal with resentment and create some forgiveness in your life. I've got a couple of different strategies for you, and so stay tuned and stay on till the end of the video, and I will share some wonderful ways that you can move into a state of forgiveness and let go of some of those resentments that you don't need. So I was listening to Wayne Dyer. If you do not know who Wayne Dyer is, he's an amazing author, and there's tons of stuff out there on YouTube with him involved. Him giving speeches, just him talking, and he's brilliant. So I was listening to one that has 10 practical things for you to do to live a better life, and one of them really hit me hard. It stuck out big time. I was like, what? Okay. And that is that there are no justified resentments. There are no justified resentments. You can sit around and try to justify them all day long, but they're only going to destroy you. That's who they're going to destroy. They're not going to destroy the object of your resentment. They're going to destroy you and your happiness and your relationships and everything around you, because there's nothing good that can come out of feeling angry and holding on to that anger and resentment for another person. Now that can be a pretty tall order for somebody who's dealing with harm, some real harm, like somebody was killed or somebody was, attacked or raped or something like that. That's a tough one. But if you can get to that place, if you can do the deep internal work of trying to forgive, it's only going to benefit you and bless your life. So we're just going to talk a little bit about that and how, I'm literally going to turn a page here because I got some notes, how much, forgiveness can change your life. We got to take responsibility for the parts that we have, participated in, and allow those things, allow ourselves to take the responsibility and not feel guilt, but know that, our results are our own. We can't blame others. We got to let go of the blame, because really blaming people doesn't do any good. It doesn't make it any better, and it only causes the other person to feel badly. So blame is not the way to go. There's a couple different techniques that I want to share with you. And one of them is called ponopono. It is a Hawaiian technique. It's the Hawaiian art of forgiveness. I actually took a couple of classes in this. Actually, it was one, and it was long. It was like a 4-hour session, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. One of them, if you're interested, you can message me down below, and I can share it with you how to learn how to do it. It's a little bit of a ritual. It involves a cup of water and a candle, and you call in your higher self and the other person's higher self, and you do a little bit of a forgiveness exercise where you're forgiving them and they're forgiving you. There's some meditation involved with it, calling in, some color work. It's really beautiful and very effective. I've done it on a number of different situations. You can even do it on places. If you feel like there's something going on energetically with a place. But the short version is just 4 statements, and that is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And it could be in a different order if you want, but I feel like I'm sorry, please forgive me is a pretty natural progression. And then I love you and thank you could be either way. Thank you, I love you. So those 4 statements are pretty awesome. And if you say those 3 or 4 times in a row with someone in mind, or you could write them, and then read them and then listen to them, like we talked about before. I think that it can create some positive energy and some forgiveness in your heart for the other party that's involved. So the other technique is something I learned from Vishen Lakhiani and from Mind Valley Academy. I love this so much. It's such a great meditation. It's a meditation. It takes, 10, 15 minutes. And what you want to do is you want to, in your mind, go to a place that makes you feel good, or it could be the place where the offense happened. And mine is a beautiful white fluffy bed with flowing, chiffon all around it, and it's placed in the middle of a wheat field. I don't know. It's a sunny, beautiful day, perfect weather, and I am there, and I call in my 3 guides. Now, your 3 guides you can make them up. They don't have to be anything. You don't have to prey on, well, who are these people? What do you identify with? For me, there was 3 different things. One is, of course, Jesus, because I am a believer, and my version of Jesus, though, is very modern. He's a homeboy. He's kind of hot, and he's super sweet and nice and loving and forgiving and encouraging. And the second is like a Nordic goddess angel, and she's wearing like seafoam green, and she's got beautiful red hair, of course, and big giant wings, and she is sort of majestic and very quiet, and sort of a version of my higher self, I would say, what I would hope my higher self could look like, right? And then the third is an animal, and I feel like a Black Panther, a cat, because the Black Panther in Jungle Book, really. So there's my 3 guides. So I have them join me in this setting, and I call in the person that I need to forgive, or that I feel needs to forgive me, and I do a little calling in of their higher self and my higher self, and then I take 3 minutes and I just let them have it. I just tell them everything that they did to me and how I feel like I was wronged, and I just say anything and everything. And I give myself a time limit, about 3 minutes, and then once that is complete, then I give them their chance, and I become them, and I let me have it about what they might be feeling. And it's quite an energy shifter to do that, because you have to kind of come up with why would they do that, and you start putting yourself in the other person's shoes, and it becomes easier to understand. And then you go through the forgiveness process. You say, I forgive you, and and that person forgives you. And then you ask your guides, am I done? And you might not be. You might have to do it again. You might have to do it again the next day. And you just keep doing it, because the more you familiarize yourself with that feeling of forgiveness, of being able to forgive that person, or that person forgiving you, putting that energy out there in the universe, you're going to find that it starts to happen. And you start to be freed of that resentment. Because resentment is like bondage. You don't want it. You need to let it go. Don't let it ruin your life, and don't let it hold you hostage, right? So resentment and forgiveness are opposites. They literally are the opposite of each other. So I would say to live in an attitude of forgiveness is a much better idea than to live with resentments. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope that you can forgive somebody and move into a state of freedom away from your resentments. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.